Hello there, if you're joining us. So we'll be getting started in about 3 minutes. I'm getting things taken care of and set up and underway, so I'll be getting started in just a moment. Appreciate you joining me today. We'll be getting started in about 2 minutes. I'm just trying to get ready here real quick. Appreciate you joining us. Running a little behind on getting started, so I've got about a minute left, so I'm trying to beat the clock. I hope it's good where you're at. So it looks like we're good to go here. It looks like starting about 30 seconds or so. Check my settings over here. It looks like we're good. I'll just leave it at that screen. Let me go ahead and hide this over here. I like having this open, but not ever. It causes some confusion, so hide sidebar. There we go. Hello, welcome to another episode, another session of A Little Extra Income. Today's training is, I'm going to try to get it all finished in one session, so it's a standalone training, meaning you don't have to watch multiple sessions to learn something or learn how to make it a little extra income. This is another profit model that I've used for my time online. I've been online for well over 20 years now, actually. Probably 23, 24, 25. I can't remember. It's been a while. Been a long time, actually. And I'm blessed with, that God's given me the talents and the abilities to learn and grow in different ways. So, and this is just one of the ways that I've learned to make a little extra income over the years. I want to share that with you today in this training course. So I hope you find it useful. We're going to go ahead and get started right away. What we're going to be talking about today is called private label resale rights. What I should do is actually pull up a Google Docs. Don't think I have my Gmail open, but let me see if I can get that open here real quick. Which one will open? That's the one I wanted, so that's good. I'd already been logged out. I just closed the tab, so we're going to go to Google Docs here. Docs, there we go. Today's topic is going to be, as I mentioned, private label, label resale rights. And let me go ahead and, come on, mouse. Sometimes my systems just can't keep up with me. It could be that I've got so many things going on with the recording and the broadcasting, those different things. Let's go ahead and change this to our title. I like to center that there. Go ahead and make it bold. Probably not necessary, but And I'm going to change, I need to go and change my default settings to be a little bit bigger on our text here. There we go. Might actually go one higher there, two higher, make it 18, just to make it easy. Click our document here to label it. A lot of people don't realize that, and I mentioned this before, but if you have a title here, you can just click in where the document title is, and it'll actually pull right from that title. Actually, it pulls from the first bit of text you put in there and make that your title. But so, getting started, what is private label reseller rights, also known as PLR? Private label resale rights is a product that you can purchase, or sometimes you can get it for free depending on where you look. I generally prefer to purchase them, but you can purchase them generally at a low cost. It really depends on what, I mean, some of them are more expensive, so I can't say all of them are low cost, but you can do some pretty decent ones. But it's a product that you can buy that has, information. Generally an information product. There, some of them are just like a ebook or PDF or something in that digital book. Some of them are training videos. I generally stick to the information products because I can control the modification of it. A lot of them will let you reformat them, do different things like that. Where if it's a video, you can reformat the video, but it's not you talking. Which is also fine if you're using a pen name or something like that, which you could do. But that doesn't make much sense either, because if people do a little bit of research, they can find out that it's not you. So almost all of my private label resale right products, I should say all of them, I can't think of any off the top of my head, that are ones that I've put my name on. Generally, if it's not mine, I don't put my name on it. I use I either use a pen name, or I don't use a name at all. I just list the product and list it as one of my company's products, that type of thing. And I use a different brand for that. So let's go ahead and let me see here. What is it? It's a product that you buy the rights to resell it. Now there's also what's called, it's a product. Thank you, Mr. Google. You buy the rights to resell it. There's also what's called master private. I did it again. Private resale. Now, I've not fiddled with these. Some people have been profitable with it, and that's just a different avenue. That's where you actually buy. It's the same private label resale right product. Joe's home inspection course or whatever. Well, you can actually then course with private label resale rights. You have to look at the settings, and you could put your name on it. It could be Frank's, inspection course, home inspection course. What you could do with a master resale rights, looking at, of course, the rights with it that are provided, and I'll show you where that's at. You could actually resell that product to others as a product that they can resell, if that makes sense. So what that means is that you buy the rights to rename it, call it your own, and then be able to turn around and sell that product so others can resell your product. Generally, what you do there is you have the master resale rights, and they have the private label resale rights, which means they could even put their name on it if they wanted to sell it as their own, depending on how you want to do that. I don't like to get in that market. That just gets confusing and crazy, but that is a possibility. So if you see the term master private resale rights, that's what that is. So there's many places out there. You can actually, if you search Mr. Google and say private, I should just copy and paste this as much as I've typed it already. Private label resale rights products. You can find many of them out there. Different places have them. There's master resale rights, PLR products. That's what a lot of people list them as, is PLR. There are the PLR store, PLR Hustle, so there's a lot of different places that you can go. I generally, one that I've used over the time, just because I like the products there, is one called, as you can tell, it's an old site. They haven't really updated they haven't given it a refresh, actually. As you can see here, that there's 11,500 ebooks, 950 videos, 76,000 articles with resale rights and that type of thing. What I have done in some cases is that a client will hire me to find articles for them to use to increase search engine optimization. What I do there in that case is if they're not writing it and they don't want to pay me to write them, I go out and find some that I can actually get like a bundle for like $5. And you can find those on here. So like, I think they have a section here, maybe articles. Maybe you have one here on garages. Let's see what they have on here. Nothing, of course. Diets. So we have videos and ebooks, ebooks. So you could actually sort through here. I thought there was a place where you can actually sort for articles themselves. But you can see here, carb cycling for weight loss. This could be a good product for us. Just some of the things. This is an ebook. So if we were just to, I'm going to jump down a rabbit hole real quick and then back up here. I just wanted to show you what's possible. So this product is $5.92. They're suggesting, or their wholesale price is $8.27. Their suggest retail price is $10.24. I would never sell it for that. If anything, I'd sell it for $9.97, $10.97, $14.97, something like that, depending on how many pages. It has 81 pages, so I would be under $10. It comes in, let's see, ebook format's PDF. Download file size is that. Sometimes they will say in this area if it's a Word document or do you get the graphics with it, those things. This gives you a product summary, says what you'll learn. Reseller tools includes a sales page, yes, which we want. We don't want to create this, take the time to create a sales page for a product we don't know anything about. Includes download page, yes, that's the page where they would download the PDF. Other included pages, opt-in page, video sales letter, lead magnet, notable reseller extras, mind map, checklist, graphics pack, email swipes, distribution rights. So you have the resale rights, yes. Master resale rights, yes. Do you have private label rights? No. So you can't. There's a definition up here somewhere between the difference between private label rights and resale rights. This means you can resell it. You can sell it to resell it, but you cannot make it your own, pretty much is what that's saying. You cannot give it away. You can offer it as a bonus, which you could do. So maybe you have a different diet product and you want to download this. You download this one for $6 and include this in your diet program. Maybe you have an exercise program or something like that you're selling. You could use this as a bonus. So they say, you don't even have to sell it as a product, but you could use it as a bonus for your product, which is kind of interesting. You don't have giveaway rights, but you can use it as a bonus. Full product graphics, no, which means they don't give you the Photoshop file or any of the files that you could use to recreate the covers, which I generally like because some of them don't have this type of an image. Let me see if I click on there. So we have a nice 3D graphic here, which works pretty well. So we wouldn't really need to recreate it unless you want to create your own copy. Of course, you're thinking, why would I want to recreate my own copy? Well, if you're thinking about it, this is a private label resale right. It's a website. So other people are obviously have the opportunity to come in and buy this product as well. So if we were to search for carb cycling for weight loss, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Carb cycling for weight loss. To see what comes up. There's one for Noom, but that's not the product here. Let's look at the images to see what comes up. Search by image. Well, that's a plus. We don't see many people. I don't see. There's one copy right here. It's on Etsy. Somebody's selling it as a digital download product. Here's another one. Barnes & Noble. Somebody's actually selling it on as a physical. And that says ebook, so they're selling it through Nook Store. So these could be the exact same books. If you look at some of these, Carb Cycling, this could be the same book. This looks like somebody's generated maybe the same product or whatever. You can, as you can see though, quick scan. There's not too many people selling. There's one somebody's created their own graphic from it, which looks cheap. Just to say, it's the same graphic, but they've created a different version of it. They're selling it on Etsy for $6. What I don't like about this is one thing. This type of box graphic has been used for a long time. Is the fact that the box is open, which makes me think, I know it's a digital product and something you're going to download, but in my mindset, it makes me think that it's used, because the box is open. You're buying a refurbished product. So, quick glance, there's not a whole lot of people doing it. And my thought is, if I create the page a little bit different, or if I do some things different, this could be a very good product for us. Let me go back to where we're at. So this is a product that I might look into for today's class. Because that's something that, it's always popular. We're in January right now. That's even more popular. Of course, people are worried about their weight no matter what. If you think about, weight loss or, counting carbs or counting calories or anything like that, January is a big time, because they're starting off the new year. I've got to, I've set a resolution. I'm going to lose X number of weight. But then you think about, okay, there's people that are, getting married in June. Well, they're starting the first year. They want to get slim for their tux or their wedding dress, so they start looking for weight loss stuff. Summer, they want to get ready for their bikini, or their swimsuit or look good on the beach, diet, you think, getting ready for the holidays, they want to slim down before they go, party with their family. Family hasn't seen them all year. They want to look good for that. Or, they know they're going to be gaining weight in the winter, so they want to lose weight before winter gets, it's a whole cycle. So weight loss is always a good topic. It is harder to buy ads for, and there's different ways to get around that as well. But, if you do search engine optimization and do some current things, there could be some other products. So I'm going to leave this one open in another tab, but I just want to show you what we're looking at today. What kind of things can we get, and some of the things that we want to look at. I'm going to open this in a new tab. I'm going back to the home. And to do that, I'm just clicking Control on my keyboard, Command if you're on a Mac. And it'll open up in a tab here, and we'll just go back to our first page. So in the first page, there is new arrivals. So if you do this frequently, if it's something that you're going to do, you spend $10 and you start promoting it and, doing social media ads and stuff like that, you're going to be ahead of the game from other people that have not been promoting, they may be promoting some of these other products, but haven't come in and checked for new arrivals. So that's something you could do. There are products like here's a PLR combo pack. It's got over 500 articles. You could create with articles. Now, I'm sorry if I go a little bit fast. I get excited about these type of ideas, so I'll try to slow myself down. You think articles, what can I do with articles? We'd already talked about, using them for blog posts, for, SEO. You might want to use a article spinner. Let me jot that down. I might go back to that in a minute. Article spinner. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. No sense writing it down and come back to it. So if I go to my website, what I'm talking about here real quick, I'm going to grab a blog post here, which I need to do more of, more blogging. Blog here, easiest way to get there. Let's see, my focus keyword. Man, I only did 3 blog posts last year. That's crazy. Yeah, because that was January 22nd. Normally I do a blog post about a month. I've been writing a lot of articles for other people. So it's like, and they like to have fresh content instead of regurgitated content. And I could, of course, come back and, use my own, but let me do free article spinner. So here's free article spinner, free unlimited web content. So I want to put my content in here so you can see that it just copied and pasted in there. This is everything that I typed. It didn't add the images. It doesn't add the formatting. Of course, I'm not sure how well this is going to come out. We may want to format it after the fact. The spacing is off. I like to have spacing between paragraphs. If you're writing a paragraph, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place. If you're writing a paragraph, you want to have like 5 or 6 lines per paragraph. I know that doesn't go with grammar rules. Grammar would be something more like this, but if you're looking at this, it's like, oh, that's a large block of text. I'm just going to skip that and go down to the next one. There's another large block of text. Then they read this or whatever. So saying that, we want to spin it. So they're going to rephrase, rewrite, paraphrase sentences, paragraphs, or whole articles for free. It says we need to input the symbols JAE, output here. So we're going to spin the text and see what it comes up with here. So what it did, if you look here on the left to the right, this is the original. It says if we strive to make the next day better than the last, or even more encompassing than next year, better than the last, I feel it's important to have something to focus on. I find that the best way for me is to choose a focus keyword. So if we look over here on what was outputted, what they spun, it says in the event that we endeavor to improve the following day than the last, or much more enveloping, the following year better than the last, I feel it's vital to have something to zero in on. I observe the most effective way for me is to pick a center watchword instead of keyword. Watchword, I may change that to a catchword, catchphrase, something like that. One basic watchword that I use to adjust my attitude, perhaps, is change my work. So you can see that it's actually rewritten it. Sounds totally different. Different words are being used, and it's a totally different article. So, what you could do with that, of course, is, people will do article spinning. They could, like we talked about before, if I pull this up, we have this that has 500 articles. So you could actually spin those, and if I clicked on that spin again, it would rewrite it totally different. So what I'm saying is that some people will do this for blogging for a website that they're trying to generate traffic from. So they may put the one article in there and spin it, post it on a different post and spin it. Content might be the same, so you have to be really, really careful about that because Google does not like duplicate content. But you could do it that way. That'd be just one way to do it. So it's written differently than somebody else that might have bought that package. Is what the whole reason that I talked about the article spinner. So if I was to download that article and search for sections of it, I might find it on 10, 15, 20 different blog posts. But if you use an article spinner to use those same articles, your articles are going to be different than theirs, and you didn't have to write anything. So that's one way to generate other things. A different way you could use articles, if you was to buy this article pack, many of them have categories. If you look in, if you to download, well, let's go ahead and click on it. I'm going to open a new tab here and go ahead and get rid of this article spinner. Don't need it. So here's our premium articles, 500 plus premium articles, and it says included private label articles, and it says Acne, affiliate marketing, CPC, which is marketing, credit cards, dedicated servers articles, depression articles, Facebook articles, so it's plural, which means that there's multiple payday loans, which I totally despise. Pick up girls articles. Why would you want that? Quit smoking articles. So if you were to get any of these, there's generally multiple. So if you had a website that was related to any of those topics, you could actually start what was called like an email newsletter. So you could actually create an opt-in where they put in their name and email address, and then say you had 20 articles. So over a period of, maybe you did it over 6 months, one a week for however long, they would get a new article from you. And of course, in that article, you could promote your main product that was related to that topic. So they're opting in, they're giving they're trading their name and email for your email newsletter thing. And of course, you could use it to promote, but also give them information. So, it may be, like in this case, we're buying this product called Carb Cycling for weight loss. We could come to this here. Is there any in here on weight loss? Weight loss articles. Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. We could actually use those articles, to, maybe they don't buy this product at first, our carb cycling product. But we have a thing that, at the bottom of the website, hey, if you're not ready to buy yet, put in your name and email for our information newsletter, or our weight loss newsletter, or weekly weight loss, whatever you want to call it. And then once a week, over however many weeks or every so many days, they get one of these articles from our weight loss articles that talks about weight loss. And it's like, well, then you could wrap it up and put it in the middle, or whatever, however you want to break it up, in the middle of that article. Say, hey, if you're really interested in weight loss, you'd be really interested in our carb counting, our carb cycling for weight loss product. Click here to find more. And then, you'd have a chance to upsell them from your free newsletter list to your $20 product, and it just makes sense. Maybe they weren't ready to buy in the first point, but the more they read, they will then decide to buy. Then after, 20 emails from you, there's a good chance they're either going to buy, or they're just not your right customer. So that's just one way to look at it. And of course, in that process, you're building a list. You hear people talk about, building a list. You've built a list on potential people interested in weight loss. Maybe that wasn't the product for them. Maybe they've already done carb counting, or maybe they want something else. So then when you do another product, maybe you come in and do another private label resale right product, you have a list that you can promote it to. Say, so you could say, hey, we have this new product. You were interested in the former product that we had up, or a different product we have up. We have a new product you might be interested in. Check it out here, and then send us to that. So you have, a list of customers or potential customers that may want to either rebuy from you or buy this other product instead of the one that you had originally promoted. So that's one area that articles would come in handy here. So let's look at some more here. We have make money selling nothing. That's probably through promoting products or stuff like that. Reclaim your youth, which would be health, getting back to time. Let's come up here and look at new arrivals. I'm not going to dig around on this much more because I want to get busy on showing you how we're going to create this. Anti-aging hacks, video and ebook. The ebook would be interesting. I'm not a fan, as I said, of the videos. Overcoming phone addiction, anti-aging hacks, just the ebook itself. So you could get the ebook for $5.93 instead of the videos and ebook, which is $10. It's up to you if you wanted to buy both. I want to check this one out here. There's a couple of Lost Art of Being Present, Overcoming Phone Addiction again, Healthy Habits, the Lost Art of, there's the Healthy Habits you could actually buy as a course, and then use the carb cycling as a bonus, since we'd already looked at that. Easy Keto, Modern Podcasting. So there's all these different things here that you could actually find different products for. I'm going to check this one out here real quick. Kind of interesting. It's $6. They recommend you sell it for $10. It's only 28 pages. Kind of lost interest in it already. Just 28. Release date was actually last year. So I'm going to say this year, but it's new year already. If you're watching this, we're now into 2022. So here's what you'll learn. It is included sales page, included download page, other things. You have resale rates, master resale rights, private label resale rights, no. Giveaway rights, no. Offered as a bonus, yes. There we go again. Full product graphics, no. May modify product, yes. Sales page only. Package with other products, yes. Added to paid membership websites, yes. Which we've not talked about yet, but we'll probably do a training on that. Added to free membership websites, no. May publish offline, no. May sell on auction websites, no, which means you can't put it on eBay or those type of things. So, that was kind of interesting. I don't really want to pay $6 for 28 pages. It might be interesting, but I'm not going to today. So where I'm going to go, of course, I think is this one. I want to check down here a few things. Let's see. Offered as a bonus, yes. May modify product. It says yes. Sales page only, which means I cannot modify the product. I couldn't go in and change the pages. I could modify possibly the cover, but I'm not even going to worry about that today. Add to membership. It's kind of formatted the same way. It makes you wonder if it's not the same person that created it. Anyway, I am going to, let me check here. Similar PLR ebooks and resources. So here's some similar ones. That they have, maybe from the same person or just same category. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to add to the cart. I want to buy this one for, well, before I actually time out. Before I buy this, we have Carb Cycling for Weight Loss ebook. So I'm just going to highlight this and copy. And then I'm going to go to my registrar where I buy domains. You could go to GoDaddy's or wherever you prefer, or you can go to Just Ask Domains. Appreciate it if you did, actually, but I'm going to check Carb Cycling for Weight Loss and just see what comes up in domain names. We talked about this before. Carb Cycling for Weight Loss is taken. So let's see if actually just Carb Cycling is available. Let's see what we can get here. Oops. Search. CyclingCarb.com is available. Let's see if Cycling Carbs. Carb Cyclings. Nope, I don't. Carbcycling.info. .online. Carb Cyclist. That sounds like biking. So let's see if I change this around. Cycling Carbs. Nope, not Carn. Carbs. Come on. Fingers. Cycling Carbs. Cycling Carbs is taken. Cycling Carb. Don't like that. I prefer a .com. The Cycling Carbs is possible. You know, if I'm just doing it for promotion, you know, where I'm doing everything with search engine optimization or ads instead of, I'm not going to be speaking on it where I tell them to go to cyclingcarbs.com. So cycling carbs may not be bad, you know, because I said it's all via search engines and stuff like that, which may not be bad. So that might be a plus. Let me put it in the cart and we'll think about it. Let me try. Where'd you learn how to spell, Frank? Come on. Weight loss. Cycling Carbs. Weight Loss Cycling Carbs is available. It's also a longer domain. Obviously, it has weight loss in it. Weight loss. Don't really. Weight Loss Cycling Carbs is not bad. I just don't like it. So we could. I'm going to go back this way. Cycling Carbs. For weight loss, I think is what we originally had. Cycling Carbs for WEIGHT. Make sure I spelled that right. Cycling Carbs. Okay, I had Carb Cycling for weight loss is what it was. So Cycling Carbs. Carb Cycling for weight loss and Cycling Carbs for weight loss. I think we have a winner. CyclingCarbsForWeightLoss.com. So I'm going to add this to my cart and then go to my cart. I guess I should sign in first. Sign in. Yeah, that's 7 dots or 8 dots. I can't remember anyway. So there's some of my, I'm gonna go to my cart. Got some domains coming up. My ex-business partner still has some domains in there that's popped up. So we have, I'm just going to go, I need to actually remove. I'm going to remove this one. I don't want Cycling Carbs. It's available for you if you decide you want to get it. And I am just going to try this experiment for a year. So I'm only going to do a year instead of 2 years. I get it cheaper because I am a reseller. I get it at cost instead of, or a cheaper cost anyway. Cycling Carbs for weight loss. I'm going to copy that down and put it over here on my notepad so I don't have to type it 100 times. I generally have like a notepad open just for scraps instead of writing things down. So I'm generally copy and pasting it. Now this is full domain protection, which means if I want to protect my who's buying this, and if I don't want my name or company name associated to the domain, you can hide that and people don't see it. I don't really care. I'm ready to pay. Save and continue. Complete purchase. Blah blah blah. So then of course you would need hosting, and we've talked about that in other classes, but if you're interested in hosting, I have a course or a site called thatonehosting.com. You could go there. I have currently still compare pricing. Let's read more. I still have $5 budget hosting right now. If you decide to do that, it's $5 a month or $50 a year. That will be going up. I just have not changed it. I planned on changing it before the end of the year, so we start the new year with it. But if you get in now, you'll get it at that price. I may double it to $10, 10, 25, 37, and 57, I think. Haven't really decided yet. I just know budget pricing. Other places charge closer to $10. I think some are like 8 or 9 if you look at some of the other services. But that's what it is. So we will want to do that. So what we're going to do is I've already bought the domain, so I'm kind of in on this. So I'm going to add to cart. I can't remember if I did already. And then proceed to cart. PayPal, place order. It's going to be, oh, I have 2 items in your cart. What are my cart? Let's look at that real quick before I click to view cart. It's in there twice. I don't want to buy it twice. How can we? I don't want it twice. Come on. My cart. Change this to 1. There we go. $5.92. We're going to place our order. I'm going to pull this over to the other side here real quick. Actually, I don't use that PayPal account anymore. Actually, should log in there to see if I have any money in there. I may have some extra spending cash. Pay now. So as you've seen, we have $6 into that, and at your cost, you'd probably pay $20 for domain, $10 to $20 depending on where you go. Prices have gone up since when I got online, you could actually get domain names for about $8 right out of the gate. So it's still processing over here. So while that's processing, I am going to, now this is something you wouldn't do, but I need to do it for our training here. So I am going to go to my server and add that domain real quick. So bear with me as I do that. I may move it to a different server, but just, what do you mean the login is wrong? There we go. Thank you for your order. Create a new account. Let me go to our notepad here so I can copy and paste that out. Domain name. It'll populate. I'm going to populate that. Grab this here. And of course, you're going to see the password here. So I am just going to put in, well, maybe you guess you're not going to. I think it does when it generates. So let's just go with Passwords do not match. Of course they do not. So I'm going to copy it over here in my notepad, paste it in here, and paste it here. And I'm going to send it to myself. Choose a package. I'm just going to leave it. As I said, these are things you don't have to worry about. Your web host would. And if I was lucky enough, I would be your web host if you were to use that link I showed you earlier. So we have our password. We have our account created. So I can actually log into this this site here and actually create a website to get our product going. So I can come in here and go to I think it was my account and my downloads, my orders. Download URL. So it's downloading it here. It'll take just a moment. So in that case, I am going to go to our website. Before I can do that, and this is something you probably would have to do. Where am I at? Do I still have the... Yep, I do have this open. So go to my account. I need to log in and then create manage all. I need to go to... This is something you would do. If you're using GoDaddy, it would look very like this as well. I need to go to carb cycling. Cycling there. I keep saying carb cycling instead of cycling for carbs. I need to log in and change. Yes, I do have that many domains really. So you can actually get website hosting from here as well, from the same place you bought the register. If you didn't want to get it from my other hosting, I get credit for it either way. I'm going to manage my DNS. I need to tell it which server to use is what it is, which in this case I need to change my name servers. So I go in here and change name servers. In my case, I need to change it to edit your own name servers. I am going to put ns1.orangepixel.co. As I said, you would use something else. ns2.orangepixel.co. Save. And it'll take a few minutes before that populates on the server. Yes, I consent to updating. I just put it in there, so we should be able to go to the website then in just a moment. Bear with me as I grab a drink. So we have this here. I can actually I could do it that way. I could list accounts, type in CY or CYC. Oops, where did I hit that instead of enter? Cycling for websites. I can go to my control panel. In your case, you'd probably be able to go to once you have the hosting and they have it set up for you, you would go to cycling for weightloss.com and put cPanel, and it would go to your cPanel account and look like this, and then you could log in with the password. So let me go ahead and try it that way just so you can see the full process. Put my password in here, log in, and that's what, every interface may look a little bit different. Go away, cPanel. We are looking for WordPress Manager by Softaculous or just WordPress Manager. We'll see which one works. Different ones, some of these have been phased out. Yep, we deprecated the WordPress Manager. Please navigate to the new WordPress toolkit interface. I need to clean that up then in my control panel. So we're going to install WordPress, and this is actually pretty easy. WordPress is a, you may have heard of it. If not, it's a way to create a website quickly and easily without, it's the software that builds the website, or part of the software. You could actually build it without anything else, but we're going to leave that default. Installation path is that. Website title, heart to heart, where's that come from? That's not to make any sense. So I'm actually going to grab our domain name because I want the title to be the same. Do I want it the same as the domain name, or do I want to use it twisted around to be the same as carb cycling for weight loss? I might do it that way. So I'm going to go back to our cPanel here and put in carb cycling for weight loss, plug in theme set. Now you can actually pick any of these. I'm going to leave it blank for now. I'm going to leave everything blank there. This is our WordPress administrator username. I generally use my own. And then the password would be something totally different as well. I generally recommend this being different than what you set for your site when the site was created. Don't use the same. It's generally not a good idea. I am going to put my email address here again. You want this to be something that you get you're able to get email accounts about, or you can actually get email. I know some people put in like a support desk or something like that, which isn't a bad idea. Just make sure that you're able to get that email for different reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and install, and it should set up the whole thing in just a moment. Installation complete. No thanks. So we are going to go to our WordPress. This is how it looks right now. We're going to log into our site. Let me take care of something right now. Something you wouldn't have to do. This would be for your web person to take care. I mean, your web hosting, they would already take care of this. As I said, this is something I need to take care of just because I am my own web host, so I need to enable SSL certificates. Enable, let me do it this way, check, boom. So that means that it'll be HTTPS secure, which Google likes. You find a lot of sites that gives a warning saying that this site is not secure. So we can actually go to our Cycling for Weight Loss site now. We'll click open, and that should open yet. Nope. That should be. Oh, come on. It's going to give me grief. Close this. No users need to be updated. So maybe cached because we went to the site already. There we go. It just took a moment. So this is what our site looks like currently. Pretty, huh? So we're going to want to go to our downloads folder. Let me pull it up over here. Refresh. Downloads, date modified. Come on, be nice to me. Here we go. So we have this here. We have our folder, the file that we downloaded. And so we have the different components here. I'm going to extract them all. Now this will be different on a Mac. Generally on a Mac, you just double click and it opens it. So, and then yet, of course, with Windows, it pops open yet another folder showing everything that was in the contents of the folder you were just looking at. So we have our ebook. So that's a PDF ebook that we have. We have our Module 2 checklist, whatever that is. Module 3 mind map, Module 4 sales page, video sales letter, which is interesting. So they have the MP4 and voiceover, so you could actually do your own voice possibly. Let's check to see what we have here. Of course, that's popping up. And it's just talking to me here. It's kind of a boring looking video sales letter, but we could actually use that. They give you the voiceover so that you could possibly do your own voice, I guess. Lead magnet, so we actually have a report that they could download. Landing page, that's what there's landing page and landing page thank you. Emails, they actually give us 5 different emails, and we talked about that earlier, which is nice. Graphics pack, they said it wasn't available, but they even give us banners if we're doing ads for marketing. E-cover, they give us the books. They give us the box. Yep, there's that one box with the one that I was grumbling about earlier. The box with the opened in it. So they actually give you that as part of the pack. You will not see that on my sales page. They have a bundle here. I'm not sure what the bundle includes. So it shows it like the report and like a CD case, which is open, a box and stuff like that. I think that's kind of misleading in this case, since it's just a book. You do what you want. Here's the one with the CD, which you could do. That's a physical product. I think it's kind of lame if you're just going to do it as a if you're doing it as a digital product. You wouldn't want to promote a CD unless you actually want to put it on a CD and mail it to people. That's totally up to you. You could do that as well. You could increase the price if you did that, but it's a lot of headache because you have to worry about mailing and shipping and all that kind of stuff. This is for our checklist. So they give us this little spiral bound looking cover, CDD, DVD logo. So we actually have a logo that we could actually use for the website, which is nice to see. Cycling for weight loss, carb cycling for weight loss. Even though ours is cycling carbs for weight loss, we could possibly use that same graphic, which we might do today. Mind map. So they actually provide a mind map, which I didn't see, which I guess is in there. And there's our free report graphics. Carb cycling made easier. So let's go back here. That's our graphics. Module 3 mind map. So they actually provide a mind map graphic. So, and the mind map is this carb cycling, chapter 1, chapter 2. So they do this mind map. So I don't know why you'd want to do a graphic for the mind map. I guess it'd be something you could put in the members area, or you could do it as a PDF as well. It really depends on what you want to do with that. Checklist. What's the checklist look like? I like to look at the products. And of course, it pops it up in another window over here on the other side. Let me go full screen with this, so then I can resize it here. Brings it up at 200. Let's drop it down a little bit so we can get the full page. So we have this here. Carb cycling for weight loss checklist. What is carb cycling? It's 4 pages. It looks like 5-page checklist here. Not bad. I mean, considering it's a free product. I mean, a free add-in. Here's our ebook. Let's take a look at that real quick. What did we get for $6? So we have our book here. I think it was like 20 some pages. Benefits of carb cycling. What does carb cycling involve? So it's a nice looking product, considering it's actually 80 pages. So that's actually pretty nice. It's good format. We don't really need to change anything. It's good information. So I'm just going to go ahead and close those. So our next thing would be to, we're going to close that. And we're going to keep this pretty simple. Let's look at the sales page here real quick. That's the final thing. I'm just going to do the regular sales page. It should open up. It's going to open up in a web page somewhere. It's already open over here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Opened up in that. You got it open up twice in a different browser here. Yeah, I use multiple browsers throughout the day. As you can see here, I've got 1, 2, 3 different browsers open at the moment. And it's opening up as a web page on from my computer. So this doesn't look too bad. We could actually import this as is. I mean, you could actually just upload this page to your website and be done with it. You could actually upload it as just a regular page and do nothing more other than change the links. It says get instant access now. You would want to, buy button. You'd have to change that to an order link. So in all actuality, you could actually upload this file to a website and be done with it. You wouldn't have to do anything else if you like how this looks. Or you can convert it to a WordPress site. The easiest thing, of course, would be to, actually, I'm going to show you a quick way to do this. I wasn't planning on doing it this way because I didn't assume that it was that nice of a sales letter. So what I am going to do is, I already closed my cPanel site for this, didn't I? I did. So let me go back to here and list accounts, type. Now, as I said, you would go, well, I think we still can actually. Cycling for carbs, cPanel, it's already open. We should be logged in. Nope, it didn't. It logged us out. So let's go ahead and log back in. I'll show you the right way instead of the way I was going to go. Let me put in my password. Log in. So what we could do is we'll go to File Manager. Click on Public HTML. And then all we need to do is upload. So we can drop files here or start uploading. So let me go to our folder here. If we just took, I'm not sure if it'll do the folder here, but I can drag this here and it'll upload. And now let me try the folder itself, because the folder has all the assets like the CSS, the fonts, the images, the scan, JavaScript. That's the word I'm looking for. Thanks. So it may not. Nope, it doesn't like to do a folder like that. So there's different way around this. The easiest way would be to right click and send to a compressed folder. And then we can upload it since it's a compressed folder now. It's a zip file. I can upload the zip file and it'll go up. And let's go back to our, so we have our asset zips. I can right click, and I know some of you are like, but it's not really that difficult if you just follow the steps. So we have our assets zip, our assets folder, and we have our index file. We should index.html. And I already have WordPress installed. That's where all these other files are. So if we go to carb cycling, let's see if the HTML file overwrites the P. Yep. So our site's already set up. We're ready to sell. If you wanted to go that route, that's the fastest route. We would need to change these order links, of course. Get instant access now. So you would need to learn how to change these buttons. What I could do, we would need to figure out what we're going to sell it for. This listing it at $17. So we would need to go someplace and create this order link. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to do this first. Do I want to continue this route, or do I want to, because we'd have to go back to our folder and add our thank you URL. Let's see what this page looks like. Again, let's go into the other window. My computer's hating me right now because of all the different screens I have open. I think what I'm going to do is show you how to thank you, your download is ready. So this is actually where they would download. Extra offer goes here. So you could actually, so here's your download. So the download would go here where they actually download the products that you have posted here. Again, this is misrepresentation to me. But then you could click your download now and it's not going to download because I can see in the link it says download, link goes here. And then you could offer. So what I'm going to do now is, we have this sales page. If we wanted to, as I said, if you just want to go with this route and then upload the thank you page and go that route, you could. So it says complete, here's your bonus, complete checklist, comprehensive mind map. Then you have get instant access now. Option A, do nothing. Option B, look for other solutions. Option C, get ready for cycling or get to your carb cycling here. Now, I'm not a fan of everything going on here, but I think this is pretty cool. To get carb, so it just bounces them back up here, which is a good thing. So what we're going to do here, and we're already an hour in. Let's see how quickly we can replicate this page here in WordPress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Now, the reason I would use WordPress is if you would have to know how to modify, see, this will jump down here. You would need to be able to change this button, which I'll show you how to do that right here while we're doing it. So we would go to the index.html, which is what we uploaded. And then you would want to go to HTML editor and edit. Now it's going to look a little different because in the editor you're not seeing all the background graphics and all that kind of stuff. So we would scroll down and find our button, and it may or may not show the button here. I think that's what this one is here. So we would need to change this link here to our order link, which we've not set up yet. We'll show you how to set that up, but this would be what that is. So in this one here, we have, now generally I would go into the source code and modify it there, but there should be a one here. It looks like a chain link somewhere, possibly right here, chain link. We'll click that and URL, and you put your URL here, then would be target, not set, advanced. Yeah, see, now they've complicated it by putting all this stuff in here. You would actually put your URL in here, which would be, if you're using PayPal, it would be, or PayBlue, or Stripe, or something like that. You would put in that link right here to create your product, your order link, so they'd actually be able to order from that point there forward. Not unless it was, I think it's hard to tell because you're not seeing the button, since the button is done with CSS, which is cascading style sheets. That's a whole different topic that we will not be covering in this course, just because it's something you do not really need to know. Let me check to see what this link is here. Yeah, same thing. So you would do that, and then once you were done, you would come down and save your document, or up here in the upper left, save. And some of the other editors, it's in the bottom right, and this one's in the upper left. You would save your document, and then it would be live to take orders. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and delete. Now I'll worry about that later. I won't burden you with that part. I'm going to go back with the easy way, or it may not look easy. I'm just going to show you how you can recreate this page in WordPress so that you can manage it easier. As you can imagine, changing the text, maybe you wanted to change text in here or take out the video or that type of thing. You could do that. And some of this might be a little crazy one way or the other. Sometimes they give you when they say they provide a sales letter, a lot of times that sales letter is just a Word document. So I was surprised to see it was this advanced. So what we're going to do here, and I've probably totally lost you all the way by now, but this is something that you could easily do. I'm going to close out some of these that we don't need open. Close that. Private label resale rights, we can get rid of that. I was trying to find our site that we had open, which I've lost already. So let's go to website here. I'm going to have to remove that page because we need to be able to access the WordPress component of this. All I'm doing is going back into File Manager. I'm going to the index.html, and I am just going to rename that for now. So that won't come up. So when we come back to our site, It should, yeah, that's what we're looking for. So we're going to log into our WordPress part of our site. So we're going to go to here, to WP admin. And I used my normal So we have this builder at the back end. What I'm going to do, you can add a new theme, which is what I am going to do, so that we can modify it easier. I'll try to stay on task without going crazy. I'm going to install this one here, this hello theme. There's many themes, and you may want to choose your own theme here. I mean, as you can see, there's complete pages here that you'd actually just fill in the blanks and just change, the information to match what you want. I'm going to install this one. It uses the Elementor backend, so we'll activate it. It says we need to install Elementor, which is fine. That's the builder itself. So we have the theme, and then we have the component that builds everything. So we're going to activate this. So now if we look at our site now, we can go over here and click View Site. Now I know this is probably confusing for a lot of you. That it's like, oh, I don't want to get into this. That's fine. That's generally why people hire webmasters, but it's really not that difficult once we get going. And yes, this is what I do for a living most days, or part of what I do anyway. So we're going to go to our site here. We're going to go to Pages, and we're going to create Add New. And for our we want to use Elementor here, which I actually should have changed the title before I did that. We'll do that in a bit. We have our page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make it look as much like the other page as we can. We have this page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a block here. And in this block, we are going to change our background to be this page here, that graphic, that image. So we're going to click this to be a full width site, and we want to change our style to be a background type of an image, which would be under the classic. We're going to click our image, and we're going to upload an image. Now our image is actually in our downloads folder that we've downloaded. So go to download, and if I do this in alphabetical order, it should be under C's here, cycling for weight loss, and our sales page, and then we have our assets, which is images. So we just find that image that we are needing is the one with the salad bowl and all that kind of stuff. It'd be this one here. Now you notice in our graphic here, it looks kind of dark, and because it's got what's called an overlay. So what we're going to do then, of course, is add our overlay. But before we do there, I want to show something here that we've talked about before, search engine optimization, if you've been following the course here. We want to add some of our keywords in here, just so that it's there. So we would put in cycling carbs for weight loss right here. The actual name of the product was carb cycling, so we might put carb cycling here. And then the description, we could put carb cycling for weight loss. And that should be 2 words. I think I did it that way up here as well. I did. And then insert media. So we have our graphic here. Now what I can do, of course, is I could stretch this out, or I can just start putting stuff in and see how we go about adding, how much space that adds. So what I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to click plus, and we're going to add a heading right in here. So I'll add the text, and we'll worry about filling in the rest later. I should have put the background over that though. So I am copying our headline right here that we have. I just copied and pasted it from the page that they gave us. I'm going to center it, and we'll want to change the styling to be white instead of that blue. So which we can just drag and drop that. And I am going to go ahead and go back to our block here, click these dots. We have this here and we want to do that overlay that we talked about. So I'm going to do a background overlay. That's what it says there. Now we can either do a gradient or a classic. Now what they're meaning is by gradient is you can see how it starts dark at the top and then goes down lighter as we get to the bottom. So we can do that. We can do our gradient. We're going to do our first color as black. Looks like it's starting as, and then our second color as, let's put it at white and then just go pretty transparent with it. I'm going to go back to our layout. So I just want to be able to see this more. I'm going to go back to our layout, and I am going to change some height here. It says default, but we're going to minimum height. You see there, we can drag this down till it's either all of the screen, or we can do percentage viewer height. The viewer, we're going to do viewer height because that will change for different browsers easier. So we have our headline in there, we have our background. We'll be able to see this more. We can fiddle around with the coloration. Actually, we want this to be darker here at the top. So let's go back to our background, and since we can see it a little bit better. Well, we're going to tweak this around just a bit more as we go along. Just trying to do this fairly quick so that we can background color overlay. We have our color at the top. So you can see how we can play with that color a little bit. Secondary color. I'm trying to get that to be darker at the top. You can see we have the opacity, or opacity, however you want to say that. So we can make it just about the same color as what they had there. Now one thing that we'll notice here is if I have that about the same there, go about there. If we look at their original, they have it pretty dark at the top, but you also notice that this salad bowl here is this salad bowl over here, and then the rest of the information is pushed over. So what they have done on the background image is they've created it, they've set it to maybe cover. See how when I click default, it goes off to the edge. They've done it to cover, and that fits in more. So we have this stuff in the way here. So once I push this out of the way, you can see how it's probably fairly similar to what they have. Ours is still a little larger, so we could actually fiddle around with that. Oh, ours is a little larger because ours is full screen. So if we take this full screen, it's very similar. So we'll just leave it for now. So we have our headline here. Now their headline is a little bit bigger. You can see how the carbs is on, stops the first line and that goes to the second. So what we can do, which is like this right here. So let's go back to this component. We'll just click on the edit here, and we can change our size, large, extra large, those type of things. We can move it around that way. We'll go to default here, and then we'll go into style. We can actually change it here as well. So we can go to our typography, and we could click the size here. So you can see how we're playing around with that here. They probably have spacing on the left and right, so we have this here. So what I'm going to do is come in here. Nope, we're in our headline here. Sorry. Come on, go back to our heading. advanced, and we want to add padding to the left and right. So we want to turn this off. If this is on, it's going to do, let me turn this on. You can see as I add numbers here, it's doing it to all the sides instead of just the left and the right. So what we can do here is change our, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to change our padding to maybe 50 and 50. And you can see how that dropped it there. So maybe we do, I'm going to change this to percentage, and we'll go to 10% and 10% to see what that gives us. That's about the right size we want for our font. So we just kind of play around with our sizing here. So maybe we change it to 20 and 20. So there we have our carbs on one line, on the top line, and can help you lose weight on the second. Now, obviously, this is going to take quite a bit of long time to get this. I'm just going to show you most of the modules so that you can be able to do this. I'm not sure if we'll do the full page today, but I just want to show you the building components of how to do this so you can do it on your own. What I generally like to do is I like to change the line height, but we're not going to on this one. Sometimes if you don't have a letter hanging down like this G, you may want to pull those together. You may want to separate them. See how they have theirs? They're using, I think, fairly similar font. It's a little bit different, but it's pretty close. We have, I think, see where the G and the W meet. We have more. We don't have as much space as they have here, so you could actually change that if you wanted by going in back to our content. We'll go back to our style, our typography. If we change this, we can actually change the line height here. So we can actually, separate it by switching that out. Now this is why I like doing this, modifying a page here than in the text editor, because you get to see what you're making, the changes that you're making as you go along. Now generally on the letter spacing, I like to pull it in just a little bit, so it just makes it a little bit tighter. That's the letter spacing, that's the spacing between letters. So back again to our line height, I want to pull that in just a little bit. So our next component then is we have this subhead, discover how you can, this one right here, discover how you can eat carbs and still lose weight fast. So I'm going to highlight that, copy, and then we're going to go back to our blocks here, and we're going to put in another heading right below here, and I'll populate that text. So we're going to put paste, and I'm going to change this to an H. It should be an H2 as well. This one actually should be an H1. Google likes to have them certain ways. We'll go back and change that to an H1 in a moment. Oh, do it now, Frank. Do it now while we're here. I'm going to make this, go back to our content and click H1. It should modify the sizes since we've already set the sizes. So Google looks, when they go to search your page, they look to see if you have H1, which is a headline 1, H2, which is a headline 2, or a subhead. There's H3, 4, 5, and 6, as you can see here. Probably goes up to 8, possibly. That's 6 here, okay. So that just sets, showing the order, the priority of the headlines. So Google likes to see not everything, if you had everything, as you can see here, the default's H2 here. If you had everything set to H2, they just is saying that all of this has the same relevancy, and there is no main headline. So it would just look at the next H2, and if they're all H2, then whatever. So we're going back to this one here. We're going to center it. Now you can change these in global settings. I generally like to do them if I'm just doing a sales page, just do it right then and there. So in this case, they had a background over that where they had this blue background to it. We can do that as well if you want to do that. They had this one as white text here, so we're going to make it white text as well. So we'll go to our style, change this to white. We want to change our content. We want to go to style and We can see, is there a background here? There is not. So our text color is this. We would actually probably change the background color right here. Background color. Change it to, if we don't want an image, we actually want a color. They had a blue color, so let's try to make it about the same. So we have our blue with the background here. They're using a smaller font, so we can do that as well. Go back to our style and typography. I should have done that already. But we may want to use, I usually like to use what's called Open Sans. So I'll put that there, Open Sans, mainly because it gives me the ability to change style better. Decoration, uppercase, lowercase. Generally, Open Sans has a light, Open Sans light, Open Sans condensed. That might work. Sometimes in the Open Sans, in different places you use it, there's an Open Sans light, which is thinner. We could actually change it here. You can see how I changed it to 200 instead of the 600, and that gives us the spacing that they had. We want to probably add some padding, and I'm going to do this all the way around generally, so we can get just a little bit more space in between here. Discover, they have theirs here like this. Discover how to, and I don't like how the text is right up against the edge of those letters. So what we're doing here is we're going to, instead of taking that all the way across, we should be able to turn this off and put in again our, let's do 150 and then do left 150. Maybe we want to do more than that so it's comparable. I don't like to put a whole lot of space there. So we get a little bit closer. I would probably do this a different way, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Instead of doing, let's see if I can add. Nope, we just got our heading there. Normally what I might do is when I have this in here, I could actually put in like 3 columns in here and then do the background. I didn't do that. What I would do, what I'm talking about is have 3 columns like this, and then I could put the background behind there and then put these, I could drag these over this way and drag this over this way. Are you going to do it, Frank? Are you going to do it? Don't want to do it. So I actually put this here. And take this and drag it down here on top of that one, which you can't see. Put our, let's see, come on. Full width, style. Let's see if we can get this real quick here. Background, I'm just replicating what we have at the top there. So I'm gonna put this in there, install medium. Let me go ahead and get rid of this here. Boom, you're gone. There we go. Yeah, I'm starting over real quick, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So we have our background here. Let me change our layout here. We want our height back, so we change our height, minimum height, go into viewer height. Boom. We want to do our, you get a crash course on me redoing it real quick here. We want our background overlay to be the gradient. So we'll click there. We change this one to black. Change this one to white. We changed the location some. Nope, we left the location. We changed the opacity to be a little bit darker. So we want the top to be a little bit darker, but not the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to, on our second color, we're going to change the opacity there. See, if I left that, it's covering that. So if I do this, we're changing the top, but making the white just a little muted. So we got this back here, but what we need to do is, I'm just doing this a different way so it's more flexible for when you're looking at it mobile. So if I click on here, I'm going to take away our spacing that we had here. That is 0 and 0. Our column here, this here is changing that width now. Same way with our blue box here. I can change these back to 0 and let the box handle the width. So we could actually pull this in a little bit to see if we can get that to and I want that carbs back up on that top line, so we'll see where that goes. So let's change this to 15 there. Change this one to 15 as well. And so those are equal. And then if we wanted to, we could change the width of this box then via margins, and we wouldn't have to put those large numbers like we had the 450 or whatever just to get that to come in. So let's see what 150 right and 150 left looks like now on that. So that looks a little bit better. Something looks like it's not centered though. That's centered, and this should be centered. It is. So we must have extra text in here somewhere. Looks like something is not centered. We must have something in the code that's pushing that to the left. We'll worry about that later. Generally, it doesn't make any sense. Something is pushing that off to the side. I'm just going to leave it for now. We'll get back to that. We got so much more to do. Our next one would be the video. Now to get the video, now they have a video in place, so whether you want to use it or not, that's totally up to you. They have it as a YouTube video, cycling carb for weight loss. This is part of their thing. Why they sell it for like $10 or whatever, $6 is what we paid for it. Carb cycling for weight loss. This probably takes a channel to a channel that promotes other videos and other products that they can make money, and that's probably why they're doing it. For the purpose right now, I'm just going to click on the YouTube link. It pops open a tab here, and that's the link that we want for our video. For this case, so we're going to go back to our building blocks here, and we're going to look for video. We're going to drag that here, and it's going to ask for our link. It's a YouTube link. You can choose between YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or self-hosted. Generally, I use self-hosted and post it on an Amazon link, but for today, I'm just following along with the process. So we have the video there. So you can see that it's there. We obviously want to change the height and the width, which we can do. Where is it here? I know there's a size here. I'm just trying to find it. As I said, I usually do this a different way. Aspect ratio 16:9. There's got to be autoplay, mute, loop. Turn off player controls if you wanted. Current video only, image overlay. Or we could just leave the size that it is. There is a way to change the size. I'm just trying to remember where it's at here. I didn't think it was in transform background positioning. Width, here we go. Full width, or we can do custom width. There we go. Position. One of these will say center or something like that. That's what I'm looking for. Positioning, custom, center, top to bottom. That's interesting. That's vertical line. It says that. Come on. Let me see if I can change center. There we go. I went into the column and setting itself and changed that to center. I still didn't make this center, so there's extra text in here somewhere. I'm going to try something here. Copy this, and I'm going to put it in a notepad real quick. As I said, I usually have one open on the other side. You can see here, I'm going to paste this in here. Oops, tech on it. I didn't get it, did I? I'm just curious if it's something in the code that's pushing that over. Yes, it's really bothering me that much. So I'm going to populate that back in here. It shouldn't matter because I posted it here. It didn't make any difference. So I'll figure that out. It's just driving me crazy. But we have our video here that's now centered. And they actually had it centered with the custom width. So I can actually make it grow to about the same size as that blue box so that we're just consistent. And then they have a button here. Yes, I want to transform my life now. So we can add a button in this section as well. We'll go back to our building blocks. We're going to add a button. Basic dividers. Pro. We're not in Pro. You can actually, there's features that you can get with the Pro. But you can do pretty much anything you want with the free version. So there's got to be a button in here somewhere. Nav menu. Come on, where is the button? Oh, you're probably seeing it screaming at me. Frank, it's right there in front of you. There's a button right there. So we have a button that says click here. We're going to center that. Hopefully, yep, that centers. Good. It's actually right up on the top of the other one. So we're going to add some margin top. Turn this off here. We can... Oops, I was hitting minus. So you can see it was starting to overlap. Give it a little bit of space there. Generally, I want the same space here as I do there, but it's not totally necessary. So we have our button there, and it says, yes, I want to transform my life now. So if I click here, content, text, click here. Yes. Come on, the right ones. So we have that. This is where we would put our order link. We'll cover that. I'll probably do a separate video on creating order links just because we could use it in different products that we've already created, but it would go there. So you would just copy that from your cart or wherever you're setting up, maybe a PayPal link or whatever, and post that right there. So we're now going to style our button. Now they're using a yellow button. We're going to try to make it look as much like theirs as we can. We'll go to yellow. So we have a yellow button. We have that there. They had text color of black. We could also change the typography if we wanted to use different font. They're using Roboto, but we can change the size here. Totally up to you what you want to do. It's kind of more of a green still, isn't it? They had theirs as looks like actually a gold. Now that I look at it, it's weird. On one screen it looks orangier. Maybe it's just me. Here it is. If I hover over it, it's more the yellow gold, and underneath it's the orange. So we can do that. So we do that's the typography. So we have the color here. We want it to be more of an orange. So let's move our slider over to the orange section. Go down here a little bit golder. Now our font is a little bit bigger and bolder than theirs, so if you want to change that, you could. Again, you're probably saying, you know, why don't we just go with the regular page? Which you could, as I said. And of course, theirs went clear off past. I want to keep it about the same size. Actually, I want to be a little bit smaller than the video. I want it to kind of stand out. So there should be an area here where we can, you know, border type. You can put a border around it if you want. We could do a border radius if we wanted to change the, see how doing this changes the roundness on the buttons here. We could add a shadow, which they had done as well. What I'm talking about here is you can see that it has that round on the corner of the buttons, and there's a shadow just underneath it, so it lifts it up off the page. So we could do that as well. We'd do a, I usually do like a black, and do it right in here somewhere. Oops, box shadow. So we want to be, you can see it over there to the right. It's putting the box shadow to the right. We want just a little bit there. The blur is a little darker, so you can see if you add a blur, it kind of blurs that shadow out. The vertical shadow, let's do it that way. Let's do this down just a little bit more. Spread. And I still want this to be a little bit darker. There we go. So we have our box shadow as well. Now they still have more space underneath their button. So you can, oops, about to shut my window over there. They've got all the space below, so we can do that as well. So if we do here under bottom, let's make it 40 underneath just to give it space. And so that gives us that space underneath there. Now you also noticed, I don't know if you noticed, it has this yellow border at the top and bottom. We can do that as well. And that goes back to this whole row here. So if we click on this, if we go to border, we can do a bottom border of, oh, that's probably 2 or 4 or something like that. Turn this off because I don't want it on the left and right. 0, 0. Oh, that's not what I wanted, was it? It's doing a border radius. We don't want that at all. I just seen border and got excited. Sorry. So we do border here, solid, and then we put on our widths. Turn this off. We want a border at the top of 2 and the bottom of 2. And our color is, see if we can get the yellow that's more yellow, not, I think it's more of a gold actually, but we'll go with that there. So you can see that we have the gold there at the bottom and top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish just so that we can see, and I am going to change one setting here. So on our settings, we want this to be, I'm trying to remember if it's full width we want. Settings, I think it was one here called element or canvas. It'll take away that header at the top. There we go. We didn't put our logo in yet either, which we can do. So we'll go back to our builder here, add our image here at the top. We'll grab our logo, so upload files, select, show all files, and it should go to our logo here. Open. I would put in our keywords there as well. So we have our logo there at the top. You can see that they have quite a bit of space below and after, so we can do that as well. By now you know it's probably in the advanced. We want to do that with the margins. I'm going to turn off that. They had quite a bit of margin up there at the top. I'm not going to put as much just because that's me. But you can see there we've got our, so we should be fairly close. I'm going to click update. So this is what we look like before we started playing around. And if we refresh here, Oh, yeah, there's a thing that I need to say. So this is looking for a blog post right here. One thing that I forgot to do is we need to go to the dashboard again. Exit dashboard. And I'm going to actually change this here now. Cycling carbs for weight loss. That's the name of the page. It's not going to be seen anywhere, but it'll help with our search engine optimization as well. Update that. I'm actually going to change that in our permalink structure here. Oh, it's... Come on. Well, normally you just click there and change it. Come on. Oh well, I'll worry about that in a moment. So we've updated that. We're going to go under settings and reading, and we need to say, it says your latest posts. We need to change this to our home page to be cycling carbs for weight loss. Save changes, and we come back here and refresh, and it should be our home page there. So you can see without this being centered, that drives me crazy. Huh, that's interesting. This doesn't have that blue box on it now. Where did that come from? Maybe did I have it highlighted? I had it highlighted. Either way, we can turn that off, and I'll come back and figure out why this is driving me crazy. But ours looks fairly close to what theirs is. Our YouTube video should play right here. That's actually that video they provided for us, and this would be our order link. So then we would go on down the page, which would be easy. I'm going to do one thing here. This is just driving me crazy. Go back to our, let me get rid of this, trash this one. There's our page. We're going to edit with Elementor. Let's go ahead and take this blue background off. So we'll go into our styling. It's under advanced. I do believe it was actually background, and there should be, yep, reset. We'll take that off there and leave that there. Update. Let's go to here. There's got to be a reason why this is not right. So it's the whole thing is not centering. Which makes me weird. So even doing it that way. So, do I play with this more still, or do I continue? Just doesn't make any sense why that is not. So let's go into our typography here, and I am going to see there is not a style. Normal, decoration, transformation, uppercase, lowercase, can't, that doesn't do it either. For some reason or other, that is not centering, and it's driving me bonkers. I know, short trip. Generally, under typography, there's a place where you can actually change some settings. You know, like we have the size, width, weight, height, stuff like that. But some places, there are some of the builders like this, they allow you to do a spacing. So just kind of weird content that's centered there. So that doesn't make any sense. I will find that out. That's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to try one more thing here. I did have it there. I'm going to type it in just to see. I've had that happen before when I've copied and pasted. when I've copied and pasted, it's brought in code that only gets displayed into the database itself. This information is actually stored in a database and not in as a physical page. Eating more carbs can help and it did it. It still did it. So it's like there's a padding something here or something, which we don't have a padding. We do have a padding. Why did the padding only? It's kind of weird if you think about it. Why did the padding only affect on the top line and not the bottom, right? So we have that figured out. What I want to do is actually trying to get this to 18%. I could actually just $18 there. Go over to this one too. $18 as well. And then we'll change our font size here on this one to be just a little bit bigger so that we can get the results that we wanted originally. There we go. And then our line height's off again because you can see our G is hanging out over the W, so we can change our line height to be down just a little bit more. And there we go. Now I'm happy. Now I'm a happy camper. Crazy, right? So we have our page the way we want it. Our next section then would be to, and I won't keep it a whole lot longer because I know we're going into 2 hours now, is to do these next sections. So you can see here we have our dear friend section, which obviously is going to be easy. So I'll copy that over there. And we'll do our just a one row here. Pop in a row there. Now notice this background is a little bit darker than this one here. This is white and this is a different color. So if we click here, we can do our different color. We're going to go, I'm going to leave that. Nah, let's go full width, and then change our background color. No, not background overlay. Our background to be a color, and we just want it to be a slight gray. You can figure out what size, what color you want it there, which is fine. We've got that there. We're going to pull in our text editor. We'll bring that in here. And so we may have wanted that box, but I'm going to paste in what we paste. We have that in there. So what I'm going to do here is go back to our content. No, we want to go back to our column. Go back to our column. There we go. Layout. That's what we wanted. We wanted that to be boxed, and we'll stay and keep that in that section. We could have probably done this box as well, but if we did this box with a background image, it would have put that image to the same width. So that's why we went full width on that one. Obviously, we want more space here above the dear friend, so we're going to go to advanced, and on our margin, we're probably going to put like 40. Nope, we don't want margin because that adds our white. We want padding. Go with 50. There we go. And our margin at the bottom is about the same. We actually did the same all the way around. 0. Come on, Frank, turn that off. 50. Bottom is 50. Now we're the same. And then our next section. Now we have these yellow borders in between. What I'll do is I'll do that on this part here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this here. Copy. We're going to do the same thing as we did here, but we're going to leave it white. Do a row. We're going to leave it boxed. And then we're going to bring in our text editor, drop it right in here. Paste in our copy that we had from the other page. Boom. We have, okay, there it goes. So there are extra spaces. We're going to go to advanced, turn this off, do our padding again with the 50, 50, so that we're consistent. Why does it keep adding that space there? And we'll see what happens when we go. So we're going to change our background border. Now what I would have done is add those colors, the same gold colors, but what we're going to do is we're going to do border type solid. We did we don't want a border type there because that's going to put it around the box. Let's do none there. We want our border here on this part. So we'll go to our style, border, solid, 2. One of these days I'll remember to turn that off. Our color was the goldish color, just between orange and yellow. So we have our yellow color there. And then, you just go continue down the page doing the exact same thing. We have our background image. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it, these here, you can just put in images. How close are we? Well, let's continue. I don't want to shortchange you and just assume. So our next section, we're going to do another full width section. So we'll put in another border here. So we went full width. We have on our border here. So let's go full width. We want to do our background. So we'll do, we should have done go ahead and do our, nope, our style. We do our border here. No, we'll do the border on the next one because we have the gold at the top and they don't have a border on there. They just go from, okay. What I'm talking about here, they have the gold here at the top, but not a gold here at the bottom. We added our gold to this one and this one, so we're okay if we're trying to match this. Now normally you probably want to put the gold here and there. We got the yellow here, so we may just want to put the yellow at the bottom, which we could do, and that's actually what I'm going to do. So we're going to put a border solid, turn this off. We just want the border of 2 on the bottom. To our color of the gold. This is, again, normally what I would do, as I said this before, is I would copy this color here and put it on another page so that we're using that same color throughout, or we'd save it. You could actually save, create new global color. We could say gold and then create, and then we'd actually do the color that we had, paste. It's not wanting to save that as a, it's not saving that as a color. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. Let's just go ahead and continue with what we're doing. It didn't let me input that color is what it is. I have to actually pick it this way. And then see if we can save it this way. Call it yellow gold since we have one called gold, and then create, and then we have that color, so we could actually pick a global color next time we go to use that color. So we want our background. We're going to select classic and click an image. We need to upload our file from that folder. Show all files. We have, it's the one with the 3. It's this one here actually. Add our ultimate, our SEO stuff. We want to do our color overlay. In this case, as you can see here, it's mostly just a white. So our background overlay is, we're just going to go with a color, and we'll go white, and we'll change the opacity here. It's already set to 50% probably. Yep, it's already set to 50%. We may want to go a little bit more to mute it out. And theirs doesn't have the image in place there. I mean, theirs doesn't have the hand. As you can see, there's the top of the hand. Theirs is just showing the... So let's go back to the background here, and position. We can do center, center, and that brings that up. You can see it scrolled past there. Before I add any height to it, we could change the size and the height like that. I am going to go here and add our text editor. Drop that in place. Grab our text from the other page. Put that in place. Why? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Don't want column gaps. What I'm wanting to do is bring this in so it matches this up at the top. But I'm just going to show you here real quick. If I click on here, this is one of those places again where I should have used the 3 columns like we did up here at the top. But let's see if I can... I think there was a way to add 3 more columns here without having to what I should have done is add 3 columns. This is what I should have done. Generally, there's a way to add 3 columns. I'm trying to remember. Add new column. There it is. And then we'll add new column. There we go. See if I can drag this one on this side. There we go. That's what I'm wanting. And then we'll drag this here. I right-clicked on this here to add the new columns. What I did, in case you were curious. I'm going to drag this one over here so it's the same width as that. And then we have that same thing there. That's what I'm wanting. Thank you very much. So then we'll come back here. Our text editor, we're going to add, turn this off, add 50 to the top and 50 to the bottom. And then we have our, now theirs is a lot larger here. You can see, because they show almost the whole bread. So what we might do then, of course, is go back to this block here and change the height to a minimum height so that we can actually that's probably more than what they had. I want to take it to about 650. We're going to go to our style and go to our background type, background position. We can do custom. So we can do an X position and a Y position. X is going to go left and right. Y position is going to go up and down. So we want to go up. So they actually had it where it was about like that. And the size here, let's do cover. Yep, that makes a difference. So let's change that just a little bit more. So they had it more like that. You can see here how they have it. Theirs is that way. Theirs is still a little bit smaller. But again, that browser is smaller. It's shrunk down to show it back and forth. So that's pretty much what we want. I'm just going to go ahead and do this next one, and then we'll call it a day, I think, actually. So on our next section, I mean, we've already showed how to do order buttons and things like that. I could probably show lists and things like that, but I don't want to keep you more than 2 hours, and we're already at almost 3 minutes away from the 2 hour minute mark. So here we have our next section, we'll go there. And we'll call it a day, I think, because we already showed you how to change the order. Adding a button with the order link would be the same here. Would just be actually what they're doing is jumping this down to the other area. And I may do a video on all of that completely. We'll see. I may change my mind before we get there. So Frank, just shut up and get going. So we have our next section here. We're going to leave this one as a block. We're just going to do the we're just going to do this as just as is. So we're just going to do the one block there. We're going to leave it a white background. We are going to put in text. Do we want that to be a heading or, yeah, let's just do heading here or text here. And we want that to be just the word introducing. We want that centered. We probably want, change this here to go advanced. Let's do on the advanced here, let's do our margin top and bottom here. That's what I should have done on the others. Well, in this one, it's 51, half dozen other. This is all white background, so it's not going to make a difference. We probably should have done it in the padding, but that's fine. We have our introducing here, so let's go back here. We have that centered. They have a different font on theirs, which we could match if you wanted. We're going to do the black there. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm taking my own liberty there. We're going to do heading and put the heading right underneath. Now they have the carb cycling weight loss text there. We're going to copy. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where'd that go? Click here. Highlight this. Paste. Boom. Center. And there's this yellow text with so let's go to style. We're going to go to the, now see, you add the global text there, but it doesn't give us the, let me see, click on here. Yep, we can do our yellow gold to match. Thank you. Typography. Let's do, they have theirs is the Roboto, theirs is something else. We'll leave it at the Roboto for now. We're going to go with, let's go with 800, make it that side. That way we're going to make the size, not height. Line height, size is right here. They have it taking up most of the thing there. I like to do, as I said, the letter spacing. I'm going to take it down to a few notches, almost to 1 if possible, like that. We are going to do the text shadow again. Now we could actually do a stroke if we wanted to, but I'm going to do the shadowing. So we're going to do horizontal about 3. Oh, come on. And our blur is way too much. And still, I like it darker. They always put it that real light gray. I like to be a little bit darker there. And we're still, let's do a little less on our, there we go. That's fairly close. Ours is a little more yellow than theirs. Oh no, there we go. So I could see, I think I can right click this and copy and then paste. Oh, we have that. I tried to put that other, that's what happened. I was wondering where that went. How to start a living legendary life. Boom, we have that there. We'll go back to our, and we're going to add an image. I don't think we've done that actually yet, so I'm going to put that in there. We have our image. It's the one that I don't really like, but it's that one there. So you can we'll upload our files, select to all files, and it's the one with this here, open, add our SEO. So we have our text there. Now there's, as I said, way large. So let's go to medium here. See if that's about what we have. Now I'm already guessing. I don't know if you noticed that kind of painted in. It kind of like took a second to load. The image is probably bigger than what it needs to be. And that's something we could address later, but we would want to reshrink this image before and re-upload it to make it smaller so that it just makes more sense for loading times. Go back to our block of text here. Add text editing here. And we'll add our copy below. Now something they have here, you can see that I've highlighted it from copying it. They've centered it. I don't like that. It's hard to read. It looks sloppy. So again, I'm going to take my own liberty and I'm going to keep it left justified. So we have that there. And then it goes into, the rest of the page. I am going to stop right there. I may continue this later and add it as a bonus or, additional to this and just pick up later and add this to there. So I said, I want to keep these manageable and this is already over 2 hours. So just want to figure out how to do that easiest for you. I'm going to publish. So we can refresh our page here. And you can see that we have a page very similar to their sales page, all using WordPress that you can go in and modify easier than going into that text editor like we talked about before, where you actually go in here. If you were going to this page here, you would, as I said, go into you could right click and HTML edit. So you could edit it this way if you wanted to. You can see there's the image we just added. There's the text below that. Trying to get it to look like this through the HTML editor just doesn't make sense anymore. So that's the way that I was wanting to show. That's why I was wanting to show you this method here that we could do. And I will say real quick, as you can see, this there. You can see that we have different blocks like this. We have our background image here. We have these items. So you could actually, if you go back to your editor, you have bulleted lists. Icon list. So they've used this icon list here for these, for the ones with the check mark. It actually just adds the, let me show you that here. So you can see that it has the icon list here. You could actually do the exact same thing they did. So you could actually just click on here and you pick the icon. So we have the green, they had their green icon. You could actually just choose the icon there, insert, and under the style, you could actually change the icon here. You could change the color. Theirs is that green color. Theirs actually probably using a graphic. I prefer to use it just like this so that we can get it loads faster that way, in my opinion. So, you could change the font size if you want. You could change the alignment, the space between. Now, there's 3 different icons here, as you see. So if we went back to the list, you could actually change these to all be the same icon. You can actually just type check here, there. Or even easier way would be to come in here and our last one is that one. So we just close that one and just duplicate this one again. And so we have that and it's all the same thing. So then you would just come in here and copy your text here. And you would go through and change the text and all that just the same way as you would on the other one. So you can create exactly the same thing that you have on that page. Another reason why to do this is, the search engines can spider these pages a lot easier. It's a lot cleaner. So it's just something that you may want to play around with and just continue. But again, we could probably spend another. I was wanting to do this all in one session, as I think I'll probably have to do a second session on this. I'll probably have to do that later and then add it to this, because we've not even talked about the thank you page, the order process, and things like that. So this will be a second session. I was just thinking, we spent 2 hours on this. We could have easily broke this up into 3 or 4 sessions, but I'm going to try to do it in 2 if at all possible, because I don't want to leave you just here. The more I think about it, as I said, I've not showed you how to do the thank you process. I've not showed you how to set up an order process. I've not showed you that, what happens after they order, how do they get that. So there will be a second session to this. I may go ahead and finish the sales page. Nope, I'll just leave it as is. And we'll come back in the next session. We'll complete that, and you'll see how that goes. So as I had every intention to do it in one session, that's something totally different. So until then, I'll talk to you later, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.